cameras, microphones, single PC, dual PC. When getting started in streaming, sometimes it can seem impossible to know what you actually need to get started. That's why in this video, I'm going over the top 3 things that you need to start streaming today. Well, what is up, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Susie. For the past almost 7 years, I've had the honor and privilege to be creating content on the internet, places like YouTube, but mostly over on Twitch.tv. And right now, you're catching us in the middle of a series entitled How to Win as a Streamer, where I'm using my years of experience to help share some tips and tricks and wisdom to help you win in streaming, whether it's taking your streaming from a hobby to a full-time career or just getting started. Friends, topic of the day: what do you really need to get started streaming? This is a huge question that so many people ask, and people are always thinking about things like, what microphone do I need? What camera do I need? Do I need overlays? Where can I get them? Fiverr.com, like where can I get all of these different things? And we're gonna cover that in this series, but as a foundation to today's video, I really want you to understand that all of that stuff, all the peripherals, the overlays, the alerts, the panels, the microphone, the camera, single PC, dual PC, all that stuff matters, but all of it is secondary to the #1 most important thing that you need to start streaming today. And thankfully, the thing that everyone needs is the thing that everyone can do. It is absolutely free, but it does require a lot of effort. Here's the thing I want you to take away. If you forget everything else I say in this video, I want you to remember this phrase right here: content is king. Content is #1. What do I need to start streaming today? You need content. Now, I know before you head to the X button, some of you are like, dude, that's a no-brainer. Of course, we need content. Here's the deal. In this video, I want to help share 3 things to help maximize that content, but I actually help convince you why you think you know content is necessary, but why you're actually probably thinking about starting streaming without content. Here's what I mean by that. Everyone is always focused on equipment. They're always focused on peripherals. They're always focused on having a cool background. Don't get me wrong, those things are important. I have all of those things. I'm really grateful to have a cool soundboard where literally with a press of a button with my foot, hands-free, I can do cool stuff like that. I've got an expensive mic. I've got a high-end camera. I've got a stream studio that over the course of 7 years, I've spent almost $30,000 building. I've got all that. But if I'll be honest, none of these things are really why I've been able to grow my stream. There are so many people on the internet that you've probably watched that have made it big with a very cheap microphone. Some of them have a headset mics that when they yell, it sounds distorted and it rips our ears. There are literally millionaires on Twitch still using a Logitech C920, still using a webcam. There are people using single PCs. There are people who don't have a cool background. There are some people that have no background because they went on Amazon and bought a $20 green screen, and they have grown to be one of the largest streamers on Twitch. Here is what people really believe, and maybe some of you, especially if you've already started streaming and you haven't seen too much success, you have convinced yourself, well, man, if I only had a better camera, my stream would finally take off. Well, man, if I only had a better microphone, man, I would finally take off. Oh, well, you know what? My stream lags a little bit. So if I went from single PC to dual PC, then finally my stream would take off. And can I tell you today that those things are not holding your stream back? It's your content. Content is king. Somewhere along the line, subconsciously, we've convinced ourselves that the peripherals are more important than the content. There are people who make it big without great peripherals, but they never make it big without content. There are people who have high production, small streamers that go out and spend thousands and thousands of dollars, and they got everything you could ever dream of, but they can't grow an audience. Why? Because their production value is high, but their content value is low. If you're streaming right now with a webcam and you feel like that is holding your stream back, you are missing the main point that content is king. You might be streaming in 480p, and I need you to understand this. People would rather watch great high-level content in 480p than mediocre content in 4K. Now, before the comments go crazy, I know you can't actually stream in 4K, but for analogy's sake, bear with me. You understand the point. If content is top notch, people would rather watch it in 480 or 720 than mediocre, kind of boring content in 4K. The reality is whatever equipment that you have or get only enhances what's already there. So if you've got great content and you start getting peripherals, it enhances that. But if you've got poor content, it just enhances that too. The reality is if you're streaming with a low quality microphone, a low quality camera in 720p, 480p, whatever it might be, people are now, and then you upgrade to 1080, people are going like, wow, it was blurry before and I couldn't really see, but now that it's in 1080, now I can clearly see this content is boring. Like, that's the harsh reality. Are you providing good content? And here's the deal. If you really believe you have what it takes, you've seen the videos leading up to this series, then you have what it takes to create content, but it's just going to take effort. And so in this video, as we've gotten the foundation out of the way, I want to go over 3 things that you need to start streaming today. And they have nothing to do with equipment, but they have everything to do with content. First thing that you need to start maximizing your content today is you got to have a game plan. Here's the thing about streaming in 2021. Discoverability is barely there, especially if you're live streaming on Twitch. It's a little bit different on YouTube. You can't just turn on your camera and expect to blow up on Twitch. You need to start treating your live streams like a YouTube video. What I mean by that is they're completely different experiences. One is pre-recorded and one is live, but they need to be the same in this way. No successful YouTuber ever gets a video to blow up by just turning on the camera and seeing what happens. Like, no YouTuber just sits at their desk and is like, I have no idea what this video is going to be about, but let's just hit start. Let's just see what happens. Like, no. Like, you can't thumbnail that. Like, you can't title that. You need to have a game plan. And this is difficult in the world of live streaming because you're not shooting a 15-ish minute video. You're shooting a 6 hours straight live stream, and you're not going to be able to plan out every second. But I want to encourage you, go into your live streams in today's world with a game plan. Let me give you an example. I woke up at 5:45 a.m. this morning. My stream doesn't start every day until 10:30. I've got lots of other work and I got to get done, lots of things to do. But one of the things that I do is I plan my content. Let me give you an example of my stream today. Stream goes live at 10:30. I normally spend with the first 15 minutes just chatting, especially this video is being recorded on a Tuesday, first stream back from the weekend. Haven't seen the viewers in 2 days, catching up. How was your weekend? How's live? Talking, just chatting, saying hello. At about maybe 10:45, I'm going to jump into some Valorant. I'm going to play Valorant for a few hours, hang out with the community, do some ranked games, get some community games in, all that stuff. Then today, when all that Valorant's done about 2:45, I'm going to try a new hilarious game called Alt F4, one of those horrible games that makes you rage because you jump and you miss all the platforms, all that crazy stuff. And then I'll be wrapping up my stream at 3:30, the last hour, doing a workout stream because I love to help gamers win in the area of fitness. Now, if I'm being honest, that's a lot of content. I probably wouldn't encourage you to plan that much, but I needed to do those things because right now Alt F4 is trending, so I want to catch it before it goes away. So normally I wouldn't encourage like that much planning, but you got to have a plan. You can't just turn on the camera and like be like, what's happened? What's happening? I have no idea. Chat, we're going to find out what's happening together. Like, no, they've come to watch a show, have a show prepared for them. And it's more than just preparing your day, prepare your week. Like tomorrow is the release of Apex Legends 3v3 mode. I'm going to be catching that on my stream. Like I'm providing a plan for the content that I can tell my viewers in advance, like, hey, come check this out tomorrow. And it shows them like, man, this guy really takes his content serious. And I have something to look forward to because he just put on social media Apex Legends thing tomorrow. I'm excited about that. It is all about planning. And it's not just about planning like what game you're going to play. Like plan like what am I playing, but also plan like who am I playing with. If you're gonna play with some of your friends on stream that you think add to the value of your content, like text them in advance, 24 hours, 2 days. The more advanced, the better. That way, when it's time to stream, like you're ready to go. Let your friends know, like, hey, man, I need you ready at 10:45 a.m. Whenever it is. Like, I need you ready. Because here's what you don't want. If you don't do any planning ahead of time, then what happens live on stream is like, oh yeah, let's get into some Valorant. All right, let me text my buddy. Okay, well he needs 12 minutes. Okay, well that's not enough time for me to get a game in. So I guess we'll just, all right, chat, we'll We'll just wait. How are you doing, chat? And what that really shows is like, oh, you're unprepared. Like you're actually unprepared for today's events. If you're gonna have viewer games, let your viewers know, hey, I need you to be ready. Before this game is over, I need you to have your game open. I need you to have me added on your friends list. Put the command in the chat to get my gamer tag. And I need you ready to rock and roll. I'm gonna invite you. If you're not in within 30 seconds, unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go to the next person in line. Because what happens if you're not prepared, then you spend half your stream waiting in between games. Maybe you can do something I've done for years. I have a notepad normally on the side of one of my monitors with just some random interesting conversations, whether it's telling a story from my weekend, whether it's going through YouTube and finding out what's the latest and greatest happening in the gaming world right now. So I can just have some ongoing, interesting conversations. I want to be prepared to create content because content is king. I don't want to turn on the camera and just be like, we'll see where it goes. A good content creator needs nothing from the chat to provide good content. I want you to remember that. A good content creator needs nothing from the chat to create good content. I don't need anybody talking in my chat to put on a show. You really need to develop the skill of putting on a good show, even if no one is watching. People say this all the time. Well, I could stream better if there was just people talking to the chat. If you can't stream to no viewers, in my opinion, you can't stream. The chat is a part of the experience, don't get me wrong, but they are not a part of the content. Like, whether there's 4 people or 1,000 people, you need to be playing at your best, at your most entertaining. You need to be bringing whatever levels of energy that you have. You need to be your best, even if nobody's watching. But in order to do that, you have to be prepared. You got to prepare for the day. Prepare for the content. Content is king. And if you want to maximize that and you want to know what you need to start streaming today in terms of content, you got to have a game plan. Number 2 that I would encourage you to have before starting streaming is I want to encourage you, especially in today's world, you need to have a foundational game. This is so important. Getting started in 2021 as strictly a variety streamer is almost impossible. When people first find you, they are not watching you for you. They are watching you for the game. The only reason they clicked on you is because you are playing the game they love. Like, unless they came from a YouTube video or something, they are scrolling through Twitch and they found you because of the game that you were playing. You need to treat live streaming like a television show. When people turn on a certain TV show at a certain time, they expect to watch the same thing. When people tune on ESPN on a Thursday night or whatever night it is, they want to be watching Thursday Night Football, probably with Jim the Chatman, right? But if they turn on Thursday Night Football on ESPN or whatever channel that's even on, to be honest, I have no idea. I don't even watch football. But if they turn on the channel where they expect to watch a certain level of content and football is supposed to be there, but now all of a sudden there's cooking, people are like, well, I don't follow this channel for cooking. I follow it for football. That's important at first. Once you build rapport with that viewer, there's relationship there, there's an ongoing relationship, then they might start watching you do whatever and you can branch out into variety. But at first, especially when you first start streaming, you gotta have a foundational game. Have a game that people can expect to come back. Have a foundational game where you can join a community. That means you're watching other streamers, you're talking in their chat. Those people are getting to know you. One of the games that I built my foundation in is a game called Old School RuneScape. I don't stream it too much anymore, but it's a foundational game for me. I streamed it literally probably a few thousand hours playing that game because I grew up playing it as a teenager. I would hang out in other streamers' streams. They got to know me. Some of the largest Old School RuneScape streamers. Till this day, I'm a mod in their channel. I went to London to the convention RuneFest and they knew me. We had lunch together. I have some of their phone numbers. Some of them still have me on auto host. Some of them still watch my channel. There's a foundation there, and all of that networking and that community building was only there because I had a foundational game. If I was that guy that literally can't pick a community, then I'm that guy that's just uncommitted to any game. I'm that guy that's uncommitted to every community. And I want to tell you, some brands I've heard use this exact phrase. If you're a variety streamer, what that means is you just haven't found your community yet. There might be mixed emotions on that. I have some mixed emotions on that, but there are a lot of people that hold to that opinion. And so having a foundational game is huge. Start climbing the ladder of that community. Then once you get to a certain size, you can start branching out in a little bit of variety. But at first, if you start variety, I promise you, your content it's going to be very different, very difficult for you to grow. Third and final thing, I think you need to really maximize your content to start streaming today. From day one, start creating content on other platforms. I know this is difficult. I know it's time consuming. And I know that in a lot of ways this sucks. But I promise you, you will not grow in 2021 if you're not diversifying your content and putting it in other places. You got to be getting Twitter clips out there, Instagram. TikTok is way too useful for you to not take advantage. You have to take advantage of putting your content on other platforms and then creating YouTube videos like I'm doing now that are somewhat searchable. Figure out what are people searching. What do people actually want to know? Let me tell you what people want to know. They want to know how to stream. So guess what I'm doing? Making a how to stream series. People find this video, and what have I done in this video? I've told you that I stream Tuesday through Saturday over at twitch.tv/SuzyLive. Link in the description below. Come hang out. Now people who never would have found my stream otherwise, well, guess what? Now they know I'm a streamer. And now they might, if they choose, come watch me. It doesn't guarantee they'll come watch me, but it gives me a better chance of them coming to watch me and knowing who I am than rather being somewhere on Twitch and just hoping that people find my channel. Hope is not a strategy. It's good to have hope. I have a lot of hope, but it's not a strategy. And if you fail to plan, you plan to fail. You need to be diversifying your content. And I know this sucks because if you're just starting out, you don't have the money to pay a video editor. When I first started streaming, I edited my own videos. I posted my own social media. I did all of that. It was not very good, but I had to do it. I had to get myself to the place where now I can have a team of people help me with some stuff. It took a long time to get there. But if you're not willing to put in the work at first, you're gonna sit at the bottom of the barrel of Twitch or YouTube, whatever it might be, hoping people accidentally find you. And hope is not a strategy. And it is such a bummer for you to spend so many hours live streaming great content in your foundational game that you've taken time to plan out. You put so much effort in it, and only the people who were there live will ever see it. What a bummer to let all that content go to waste when you could recycle it on YouTube, on Twitter, and all these different platforms, and getting so many people who were not able to be in your live stream, because remember, you're the only one who actually benefits and makes money from being in your live stream. Other people are at work, they're feeding their children, they're doing whatever, and it's such a miss for you to not be taking that same great funny moment and just putting it elsewhere. And now that other platforms that actually have algorithms, they're finding this content and going, wow, that was a funny clip. Who is this guy or who is this girl? Let me go find their stream. I want to encourage you today. You need to remember, content is king, but how do you maximize that content? You have to have a game plan. Don't turn on your camera and just be like, well, we'll see what, YOLO chat, let's see what happens. Have a game plan. Show your chat, I take this seriously, I've prepared. Have a foundational game that you can base some of your beginner content around as you're first starting before branching off in a variety. And then take that great content you just worked so hard to create and make sure more people see it by putting it on other platforms. And I promise you, if you do those things, you will find yourself on the road to success. But remember, the equipment you have, it will enhance what's already there. If your content is poor, it enhances that. But if your content is great, it'll only help you take it to the next level. Friends, I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you have so far in our series, How to Win as a Streamer, do me a favor, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, but also let me know in the comment section below, what are some other topics you want to see me cover in these videos? I'd love to get those out for you. But friends, also be sure, catch me live on my live stream, twitch.tv/SuzyLive. I'd love to get to know you. I mean it. I want to do more than just make you laugh. I want to be an encouragement in your life, and I want you to know that you're a real person who really matters. You're not just a viewer. I'd love to share that with you. Friends, thanks so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. We'll see you in the next one.